Hey, I'm Josh McWhorter, and today I'll be talking to you about the fiscal cliff. And before doing this, honestly, I'd heard a little bit about it on the news, but I never paid that much attention to it, or a lot of politics for that matter at all. But basically what the fiscal cliff was this dilemma that was faced at the very end of 2012, where terms of the Budget Control Act 2011 were scheduled to go into effect, and there were also a lot of other changes that were going to take place, such as the end of last year's temporary payroll tax cuts, businesses, certain tax breaks for them, the rollback of the Bush tax cuts, and it was also the beginning of Obama's health care law. They all kind of came into one, and also at the same time spending cuts that were agreed upon as part of the debt ceiling of 2011, which I believe it said it was like $1.2 trillion, were scheduled to go into effect, and over 1,000 government agents, or 1,000 government programs, something such as like Medicare, they were scheduled to maybe take some big automatic cuts. That's just a little bit of background about it. But when it came down to the actual deal that took place, they got a deal done like 3 hours before midnight, I think it said. The Senate agreed to a deal about the fiscal cliff, but the final details, they technically weren't even worked out until after the January 1st midnight deadline passed. But what they did was the changes that were, done at the last second, that were incorporated, they just backdated them to January 1st. And some of the key elements of the deal, I jotted a couple of these down just in case I forgot them, but there's an increase in the payroll tax by 2%, or 2 percentage points, excuse me, and a reversal of Bush tax cuts for individuals making more than $400,000 and couples making over $450,000. Investment income was also affected during the deal, and a lot of people wonder whether or not the deal actually did anything. Like, did it accomplish anything? And it's kind of like a mixed opinion on it. It was good news to some extent. One of the things when I was researching, though, that I found interesting was that it should be noted, like, they had, I think it said it was like over 500 days to like work on this. I think it was like 507 days to be exact, to work through this problem. But still nothing was done until the final hours, and it's big news, but they had over years, over a year to get something done, and didn't really accomplish anything till the last second. So I guess you can say that there was a solution, and the problem was solved, but the deal still did really little to address the country's debt load, which is a huge number. I forget what it is now, but it's a really big number. And overall, though, I'm not sure if it accomplished a lot. I just think that a lot of politicians they just have their own agenda. The Democrats have their own agenda, Republicans have their own agenda, and nobody wants to set that aside to come together for the good of the people, and that's why it took to the final hours to get something done. And I'm Josh McWhorter, and this is my video on the fiscal cliff. Thank you.